Hello and welcome to Monday's edition of Cracking the Cryptic, or should I say Chocolate Cake Day. Apparently today is Chocolate Cake Day, which if you're following the channel for any amount of time, you'll know is probably a day that is, well, should be very dear to our hearts here on Cracking the Cryptic. And, well, another thing that's dear to our hearts is Fog of War Sudoku. And we have got a puzzle that has had loads and loads of recommendations to try. It's called The Third Law of Thermodynamics, and it's by GDC. And this is a weird rule set. It's incredibly straightforward. Basically, there are thermos in the grid that all have 4 digits on them, and they only move horizontally and vertically. And then within any 2x2 area, the grid must exhibit entropy, which means that in any 2x2 area there must be a low digit, a 1, 2 or a 3, a medium digit, a 4, 5 or a 6, or a high digit, and a high digit, a 7, 8 or a 9. And that's it, basically. I mean, I'll read the rules properly when we get to that point. But it is, I mean, it's a remarkable idea. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to having a go at it. Apparently, it is absolutely phenomenal. And I know so many of you out there love, this is dynamic Fog of War today. So many of you love Fog of War. And Fog of War is where if you say deduce this digit, it would clear the fog from these squares. Dynamic Fog of War is if you get this digit, it might clear the fog from this square. You just don't know. And it allows the constructors to be ever more devious. I forgot to look at how difficult this puzzle was. I'm going to guess 3 stars, 5. That is a total guess, judged by the length of the video, assuming it becomes a video at all. Now, what else can I tell you about today? There are a few things. I'm delighted to tell you and share with you that I did get an email back from Erin, who's won the Hobbit competition, which was our monthly competition over on Patreon for January. And Erin is keen to make a Sudoku video with me. So that is going to be something that we arrange in the next days or couple of weeks. And yeah, look out for that on the channel in due course. Fingers crossed if the technology and our brains work. And I should let you know what's coming up on the 1st of February, shouldn't I? Which is a new Sudoku hunt by the Paint by Numbers Institute. Have I got it? I think I do. Are You My Mama? Or Mama? I'm not sure. With this incredible artwork by Clocksmith. This is so cool. Look at this. It's absolutely brilliant. And you can see there, it's the puzzles are by Jala, Alithana, The Asylum, and Panthera. And I think it's number sum rules, which are a little bit of a twist on Japanese sum Sudoku rules. So there are pictures to be found in grids. I think 11 puzzles in all. And we've been testing them, and they're fabulous. So this is going to be, it's going to be a great treat again. And I say it's coming on the 1st of February, so do look out for that there. And what else do I want to mention? I should mention our app, actually. It's our most popular app, which is our Fog of War Sudoku app. It's been out for a while, but loads and loads of you have been enjoying that. So if you do find, as you go through this puzzle, yes, this Fog of War thing, this Fog of War malarkey is rather good, then do check out the Fog of War app. I'll try and remember to put a link on the screen. Now, the other thing I've got to do today is birthdays. I'm going to start off with a birthday that I missed yesterday, but I'm delighted to tell you it was not my fault. It was a mistake, an email address mistake. But Sheila, it was your birthday yesterday. And your daughter Elizabeth was very keen to let us know that. And there was just a glitch in the email. Otherwise, I would have done this yesterday. But Sheila, apparently you're still doing all computer-generated puzzles. You don't know about this wonderful world where humans make the Sudoku puzzles. Sheila, your life is going to change. Your life is going to change. Elizabeth, who has been with us throughout, Elizabeth remembers the advent of Maverick, the first 3 in the corner. When Mark originally sent me the first Miracle Sudoku, she has been with us since it first happened. And, well, Elizabeth, I'm hoping that with my persuasion as well, your mum might get into these puzzles. Anyway, Sheila, I hope you had a great birthday yesterday. I gather that Elizabeth's niece had made you cornflake cakes with Ferrero Rocher on top. That's going in the right direction on chocolate cake day, isn't it? And Elizabeth let it be known that there was a chocolate log left over from Christmas, and it was an end piece. Now, that does take restraint. I agree with Elizabeth about that. The best part of the chocolate log is obviously the end piece, and probably is therefore the first to be eaten. But anyway, Sheila, I hope you had a great birthday yesterday. Many happy returns. And then we'll go over to Chile, where Christian, you have turned 35 today. And I know this because your wife Nicole wrote to us and said you might appreciate a shout out. So Christian, I hope you have a great birthday today. Next, Joel, your wife Carly. Oh yes, your wife Carly wrote to us and left an intriguing message. Said that you find cracking the cryptic a peaceful end to busy days, taking care of friends, family, and a thriving pinball community. What's going on there? I don't know if you know this, Joel, but I am a massive, massive pinball head. I fell in love with pinball at university many years ago, and yeah, it led to a bit of a misspent youth. But yeah, my favourite pinball machine is Star Trek The Next Generation, obviously. Although I do enjoy the Addams Family. I actually do have a Next Generation pinball machine when it deigns to work. But I would like an Addams Family pinball machine as well. But they've become so expensive now. They're real collector's items. But anyway, Joel, I'm intrigued to know what this thriving pinball community is. But many happy returns for today. Oh, next, this is lovely. Josh, I had an email from your children, Gwenny and Jojo. Now, Gwenny is 7 and Jojo is 5. And they tell me that you've told them you're turning 29 again this year. Well done. I don't think they believe you. But they wanted you to have a very special birthday. And look, Gwenny has drawn you, or drawn us maybe, a picture of your family. Isn't this lovely? So this is Mum Emily. This is Josh here. I'll give you an alternative picture of Josh in a moment. But I think this says, I exercise and have big muscles. So there you go. This is Gwenny. And Gwenny says that she loves art. And this is Joel, who has messy hair. Is that Joe or Joel? Now, well, I know... it does say Joel, I think, but Jojo is how the email was signed off. But let me show you another picture. Here we go. This is very cute indeed. So that tickled me pink, to be honest, Josh. I hope you have an absolutely brilliant birthday. You've obviously got an absolutely wonderful family there. Many, many happy returns. Next, over in San Diego, we'll say happy birthday to Katie from your partner Alex. And Alex wrote to say you've been his rock through a tumultuous time, and he's grateful every day for your presence in his life, and is so proud of you for all your accomplishments, Katie. So many, many happy returns to you. And then finally, Rebecca has turned 33 today, and I know this because your fiancé Garrett wrote to us and told us that I know the two of you are quite far apart at the moment. I think Rebecca's in Belgium and Garrett is in Arizona. Now, those places are not near on the map, but the two of you are getting married in the spring. So we wish you well for that, and many happy returns today, Rebecca. And that is all the news. Let us turn our attention to doing some solving. Have a look at the Third Law of Thermodynamics by GDC. The rules are as follows. Normal Sudoku rules apply, so we have to put the digits 1 to 9 once each in every row, every column, and every 3x3 box. Digits along a grey thermo increase from the bulb end. Thermos contain exactly 4 digits. Only move horizontally and vertically, never diagonally, and don't branch or overlap. Thermos are partially invisible. Yeah, okay, so you can see here this thermo goes into this square and we can't really see what happens to it after that. But in the end, we know it's going to be 4 cells long. So we're going to have to work out, I suppose, can it double back on itself? Not sure. But I don't think the rules prevent it from doing that. And then, so let's just draw a thermo in, actually. Let's say the thermo does this. Then the way thermos work is that this digit is the lowest on the thermo, so then we must move up. So let's say this was a 2. I don't want to put big digits in case we I happen to get the right digit and it clears fog. So 2, 4, let's do all the even digits. 6, 8. That would be a valid way to fill the thermo. I'm ignoring any entropy considerations there, but that is a perfectly legitimate way, I think, to make the thermos work. Dynamics. The grid is covered in dynamic fog. Placing a correct digit in a cell lifts fog from that cell and possibly other cells, revealing new clues. And then we've just got the entropy where it says every 2 by 2 area in the grid contains at least one digit from 1, 2, 3, at least one digit from 4, 5, 6, and at least one digit from 7, 8, 9. So I haven't done an entropy puzzle for a long time on the channel. They normally become colouring festivals. So let's see if we can enter a festival of colouring today. The way to play is to click the link under the video as usual, but now I get to play. Let's get cracking. So what we should do is draw our thermo, shouldn't we? We've got one here and one here, but we don't, well, I was about to say we don't know where they go, but we do really, don't we? We know this one must go there because it's not allowed to go diagonally. We were told that, and they can't overlap. So I've got 3 cells on this left-hand one already. And this is one of the lovely things about Fog of War Sudoku. You know, there is no point me looking down here or over here. I think that they are very, very good at getting people into variant Sudoku because you have to look at such a discrete area, don't you? There's really only point in us looking in those squares, I think. I don't think the thermos can reach further than those squares. Actually, the thermo can't even reach that square, or that square, or that square, or that square. So I'm really, no, it can reach that one, it can reach that one. So we've really narrowed down where we need to look. And all we've got to do, so it's going to be something to do with the entropy rule, isn't it? Right. So the first thing that occurs to me, yeah. Okay, so the first thing that occurs to me is I'm going to look at that 2 by 2. Just exclusively at this. Because I know that one of these digits, at least, is a big digit, a big old digit, a 7, 8 or a 9. But actually, if we reflect on that for a moment, we know that the big digit can't be in a bulb, don't we? Because if we were to put in a 7 in the bulb of a 4-cell thermo, that thermo would go 7, 8, 9, and then the 4th digit on the thermo would be at least a 10. Well, there are no 10s in Sudoku, at least not in this Sudoku. So I think all I'm saying is that one of these digits, well, I'm actually going to go further than that. I'm going to say one of those digits is exactly a 7. And the reason I think that must be true is sort of the corollary of working out that the 7 can't go on the bulb. If we think about the second cell on a 4-cell thermo being at least 7, well, it can't be more than 7, because if it's 7, it can go 7, 8, 9. But if it was say an 8 in one of these 2 squares, it would go 8, 9. Again, it would be a 10, wouldn't it, by the time we got to the end of the thermo? So one of these is a 7. And the thermo that has 7 on it is going to end 8, 9. Oh, so it's nearly impossible for this to be a 7. Oh, no, it is impossible. It is impossible for this to be a 7, I think. The way I'm seeing that is that, let me use middle pencil marks for a moment. Well, actually, I could, if I really trust my logic, I could put big digit 7 in there because I don't think it is a 7. But let me explain. If this was 7, this would be 8, and then we've got to start thinking about this box in general. The fact is that any 2 by 2 in this box that we draw has to contain a high digit. Well, imagine this thermo went to here. That would then be a 9, wouldn't it? And both of these 2x2s couldn't have a 7, 8 or a 9 in them, so the rules would be broken. So that's definitely wrong. So if this was 7, the only way this works is to bend this thermo into this position and put the 9 on it here, but that doesn't work for a different reason. Now I can fulfill the requirement to have a high digit in every 2x2 box in box 1, but what I can't do in this specific 2x2 is to put a low digit and a medium digit. There's only one cell left. So I think what we're effectively being led to here is that this square is not able to be 7. Let's redraw the thermo, or at least I think that is a 7. I'm not going to go for bobbins. Okay, well that was exposed anyway, so it might not be wrong. Oh dear. So if we trust the logic, then that is 7, and then 8. We know the thermo is going 7, 8, 9, so one of those is 8 in the box. And oh bother, I don't know. If how do we think about this then? I suppose we've got to be a bit careful again. Yeah, okay, the thermo can't bend. So the thermo I thought about for the example where I did that, that's not going to be correct, because that gives us the 7, 8, 9 problem just in a different 2x2. This 2x2 is impossible now. It's got too many high digits in it. We can have 2 high digits in a 2x2. We can't have 3 because we wouldn't be able to fit a low and a medium digit in. So that's wrong. Definitely. The same is true if that wibbles up there, isn't it? Then this 2x2 is broken. If it goes there, this would be 9. Then, no, then I feel like, and this might be wrong, if this is the route we're going down, we've got a bit of a problem, but it might not be insurmountable with these squares in box 1. These 2x2s, they both have to have a high digit in, and yet there's no high digit in them if this goes 7, 8. So the 9 in this box would have to be in one of those 2 cells. I'm not sure. I don't think I can disprove that immediately. So what happens if instead it goes there? Well, that's very constraining. If it does this, there's probably a problem with this, but I can't think what it is. Oh, it's infuriating. Come on, brain. I'm not sure. I'm not sure it is a problem. Let me explain. Well, we've worked out it's possible that this bends here, but if it does, it then goes there. So that's one possible thermometer. If we go to here, we can't bend here because this 2x2 has too many high digits. So we have to continue to here, which would make the thermo go 7, 8, 9. And at first blush, that doesn't look too bad, does it? Because we've definitely got, in terms of any 2x2 that exists within box 1 at least, there's definitely a high digit in all of them. That's clearly true. That's clearly true. But what I'm wondering about is what happens on this thermo then? Because that definitely forces that pattern of thermometer, doesn't it? So what we've got to do there, it is tricky actually. It's really tricky. No, I think it's okay. I'm not actually certain. But my thought here is, how do you get a low digit into this 2 by 2? And you can do it, but only by it. But obviously we can't make this a low digit because that's the fourth cell along a thermo. 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is definitely medium. The only way you can get a low digit is if that is 3. No, and then it doesn't work. No, it doesn't work there. Oh, that's gorgeous. Good grief. That's really interesting. That's really interesting. Okay, so that you have to do this quite carefully. So if there is a vertical thermo here, which I think is possible from this thermo's perspective and from all the 2 by 2 boxes in box 1 perspective, the problem comes on this thermo, where to get a low digit in there, that has to be a 3. But then that's obviously also low because it's lower than the 3 on the thermo. And that 2 by 2 doesn't have a low digit, doesn't have a medium digit in it, sorry. 3, 2, 8, 7, there's no 4, 5, 6. So this is not correct. So let's take it all the way back. I think this thermo has to bend and I think it has to continue. So I think what we're doing is 8 going here. Yeah, that's correct, isn't it? Because I think it said if you get a digit correct, it will clear the fog from that cell. So and then I think this has to be 9. Okay, yes, and that's confirmed that the thermo was invisible for a while and then decided to re-emerge. Right. So what on earth does this mean? It means everything else in this row is low or medium. These have to be one of each. Actually, those have to be one of each as well. Yeah, okay, there's a little pattern that's going on in that rectangle. Because imagine this was medium. Well, then that would be low to make that 2 by 2 work. But in this 2 by 2, we haven't had a medium now, so this would be medium again. So those two are the same. Whatever polarity, entropy this one is the same. Oh, we better have colours. Yeah, okay, we're going to have colours, aren't we? Let's choose. So we'll have high digits being orange. I'll have low digits being blue for coldness. And then I'll need a medium colour. Probably green. Maybe green for the medium colour. But anyway, let's go back to it. Do we know stuff about this thermometer now? Or not? And do we know where it goes? Does it go there or does it go there? I don't know. Okay, but alright, we know that 2 by 2 has to have a high and that 2 by 2 has to have a high. So we know 9 is definitely in one of these two squares. That's forced. Oh, I don't know. What's the right way to think about this? Oh, that can't be 9. That would put 3 in a 2 by 2 again. So 9 goes here. Ah, okay, so I've got a thermo over there now. Right, so that thermo is going up 1. And I want to come back over here and think about this. So everything else in here is either middly or low. This is one of each. In fact, whatever you put in that one, it sort of takes care of whatever entropy it is for all of the 2 by 2s in box 1. If that's... Right, this digit is not... I don't think it's middly. I might be wrong about that, but the way I'm seeing that is if that's middly, that's clearly middly, and then either this is middly or that's middly, depending on how the thermo continues. Well, if it bent like that, all three of those would be middly, and that's too many middlies in that 2x2. And if it goes up to the top, there's no middly in that 2x2, because all the middlies have been used. So that is low. And it's the second cell on a thermo, so it's not 1. So that is blue, and it is 2 or 3, and this is 1 or 2, so that is blue by dint of thermo logic. And now this 2x2 has not had a middly, so let's use green. That is a middly, 4, 5 or 6. This is low, because that 2x2 hasn't had a low. So let's put that in. This is middly by my logic that we did before in that rectangle thing. So that's middly. This is one of each. This one, I'm not sure. One of each here. Is it obvious which way round this goes? Does it depend on where this thermo lives next? If this is low, it would be a 3. This would go 3, 2, 1, dusty bin. Then 1 would have to live in one of those. That would be middly. 1 would live in one of those. Actually, that would be middly. Oh gosh, this is tricky. This is really tricky. All of these are all of those are blue or green, because we've had all of the... Oh, this can't be a 9. That's the second cell on a thermo. So if this was a 9, the thermo would be very troubled. So if this bends east, that would plonk the 9 here. And we've got to, yeah, we have to be a bit careful here, because no, it's fine actually, isn't it? I was going to say we have to have a high in that 2x2, this 2x2, that 2. I mean, all of these 2x2s have to have high digits in them somewhere. Same is true in row, sort of these cells, isn't it? But there's plenty of opportunity for highs along there. Wow, okay. We've got a high there, a high there. Well, there's got to be a high in there, at least one. I don't know. I don't think I'm very... I don't think it's very easy. I was going to say I don't think I'm very good at it. I also don't feel very good at it, but I don't think it's very easy. Oh, that's one of each. Oh, I see. So it's the same pattern that I could, for some reason, easily see there, repeats here, in the sense that whatever entropy this is, that's the opposite. So say this was low, this has to be middly, and that has to be low again. So there's a sort of oscillation of entropy along here. But does that mean I know which is which? I don't think so. So whatever this is, if that's... No, it's not the same. If that's low, then this is also low. Both of those would be middly. And both of these would be middly. But if that's middly, I think all bets are off then. I don't think we know. Golly, this is tricky. Or can I do some... Maybe I've been given this thermo for a reason. Let's try and think about that. Why have I been given this thermo? Is there some sort of deduction I'm able to make as a result of that? If it looks like this wants to be high to me, doesn't it? Because I need some highs in here. If that's high, what's the problem there? Well, it's tricky for that to be high, because you're going to run into this issue that we were thinking about before. Actually, let's just think about that. If that's high, well, when I say the issue we were thinking about before, what I was mulling over is I can't just do that sort of pattern, because I'll have 3 high digits in a 2 by 2. So I'm going to have to make a decision. So in fact, you just can't go to this square for that reason. You can't sort of wibble like this. So this is either going to turn to the east or the west, and then it's going to continue. Now it's interesting, it can't turn to the west, because this would be a 9. If that's high, that would clearly be a 9. So that won't work. So the only way this works, and it might work this... No, it doesn't work. It doesn't work this way, is if it turns to the east, so then it would go 7, 8, 9, and these would all be high. That's the only way it could do it. But then we've got a problem with this 2 by 2, which can't have a high digit in it, because neither of these can be high. So this is wrong. So this is middly, and that does give us those 2 digits are now high, which is it's just such a peculiar deduction. That's not 9. Okay. I really quite like that. Now, does that help though? I have no idea. I have no idea whether that has helped us or not. Do we know? So whatever this is, it has a pair here. Yeah, okay, so whatever this number is, it has a friend in one of those 2 squares, because it is a 7 or an 8. Now in this box, therefore, that digit is up there somewhere. Well, okay, to think of it a different way, how could this not be high? If that is not high, all highs are in those cells in box 3, and that's 3 highs in a 2 by 2. So that is definitely high. That is 7 or 8. It might be this one, I'm not sure. But now these are of opposite polarity, because we need a low and a middly in those 2. And see, it's this weird pattern which you get in these rectangles. So these have to be the same polarity and different from this one. But if... How... Oh, no, maybe it's okay, actually. No, it's not okay. How does this... This is the most strange puzzle. It's one of the most strange puzzles I can remember doing on the channel. And I might be wrong with what I'm about to say, but I don't think I am. If this thermo now goes up, it's very clear that wherever it goes next, it's into a high digit, and whichever way it went, it would cause 3 highs in a 2 by 2. So it doesn't go there. So, which way does it go? The answer to that is, I feel, important. So for a similar reason, it's not going to wibble, is it? It's either going to go exactly across like this. Do I think that's likely? I'm not sure. Or it's going to go across like this, because its next digit, once it turns, is high. So it's going to find another high digit, which could be here, or it could be here. It's one of those positions. And do we have a favourite? I'm not sure. Here's a point. Where's the high digit in that 2 by 2? I don't think I know, but I do know something. Yeah, this is going to do it. So it's a combination of all these things operating together. In this 2 by 2, I need a high, but neither of these can be high because 7, 8 and 9 sees them. So one of these is high, and that means in this box, these squares are all low or middly. And there is a high in one of these. So if this thermo turned west, it wouldn't work because there wouldn't be a second high digit that it could then go up from this digit. So it must turn east and go continue. So this is not 9. This is 9. Yes, and that's a 5. And I was going to say that's 8, but it needn't be. It could be 7. So there's a 7, 8 pair here. That's definitely orange. This is definitely middly, which is green, isn't it? So this needs to be low. And okay, and these are, we've got all the highs now in row 2. So all of these are middly. That is high by dint of the fact we need a high, and that is a 7 or an 8. So now everything else in row 1 is middly or low. And goodness knows what we're meant to do with that knowledge. That's definitely low, so we better think on that idea. So this digit can't be low now, because then that digit would be low and there would be no middly. So that's definitely middly. And that's 4 or 6 as a result of that logic. And now I must have a middly in that 2 by 2. So that is low, because we've had all our middlies in this box between these two squares and the one that must be up here. So this is 1, 2 or 3. I've now got a 1, 2, 3 triple in this row. So these two squares are both middly, and they are 4 and 6 in some order. Now 5 in this box must be super restricted, because this 2 by 2 and that 2 by 2 both need a middly, and so one of these is a middly 5, and both of those are low. Oh, and we could have got that from here, I just didn't see it. Okay, and using our rectangle logic, this is low, because that 2 by 2 needed a low, so that's a 4 or a 6 in the corner. No song for it, but that's it's still quite exciting. This is a 1, 2 or a 3. This is middly. Oh look, no, this pattern is resolved now. I've got to put middly and then low. Otherwise we would be in a world of trouble. So this is 4, 5 or 6. This is 1, 2 or 3. That 2 by 2 is finished. It's got all entropies. That 2 by 2 has got all entropies. This 2 by 2 doesn't have all entropies, does it? In fact, that can't be 5. That's got to be the 5 at the top. So this is definitely low and not 5 and 1, 2 or 3. So I've got 1, 2, 3 triple here. So this is now, oh, that's big. That is big, because that's now a middly digit on a thermo. So it determines where the thermo goes, because the thermo can't turn into a lower digit than a middly. So that's got to be 4, 5, or, well, it's actually got to be 4 or 5, doesn't it? It must go up into a 5 or a 6, because it must be a higher middly that it goes to. And now I've got my 3 middlies, so that becomes a low. And I've fully coloured the first 3 rows, which actually I'm delighted by. This is one of each. Oh no, well it is, but that's blue. I haven't got a blue in that 2 by 2, and I haven't got a high in this 2 by 2. Oh, I have got one of everything there, so I can do 1, 2, 3, 7, 8, 9. But how are we going to actually get anything from this? Ah, that's a 6. I was about to say this won't work because I won't be able to do anything. But actually Sudoku is coming to our rescue. I got another thing that's been revealed here. Okay, let me just think this through. What does that mean? That might not mean... That might be the limit of what we learn there. This is one of each. Not one of each, but this has got to be a middly and a high. I don't know. Oh, in fact, look, if you look at row 4, all the low digits have gone. Yeah, there must be a middly in this 2 by 2, otherwise this won't have a middly. So this digit is high by dint of sort of elimination. And this is one of each. That is orange and green, but I don't think I know the order. And then there has to be a blue in there. And I've got a new thermometer, but it's very, very... it's a very stubby thermometer at the moment. There's got to be a high in one of those. There's got to be a high in one of those. That's 2 highs. But there doesn't have to be a high in any of those particularly. Wow. I mean, this is crazy. Oh, hang on, that can't be middly, can it? That might be an incorrect statement. But the reason I'm just wondering about whether this can be middly is if it is middly, it's 6. And that means that the next, it means 7, 8, 9 are going to, I'm going to run into a problem, aren't I, with that? Yeah. I'm not having that. I don't think this can be middly. And well, because if it is middly, it's green. Yeah, that's true. But it's also 6. That's the most pertinent point. And if it's 6, now every digit after that is a 4-cell thermo. Don't know where it goes. But they're all high digits, 7, 8, and 9. And we know that we can't sort of bend it in a way that's going to put 3 high digits in a 2 by 2. So it's not doing anything like this. So where does it go? Now it could go straight down column 8, but if that's 7, 8, 9, that cell can't exist, so it doesn't do that. If it goes straight along row 6, 7, 8, 9, both of these are high, that's high, and there's a high in that domino. That's 4 highs in box 6, so that doesn't work. There's no other pattern that will work, so I think this has to be low, which unfortunately just takes all the pressure off it. I think. I mean, that's so strange. You sort of think by getting that it's going to do something, but what does it actually do? Can't we just, we can apply the same logic to this square. That cannot be high, because that's going to lead to all the same issues. So that is either low or middly. Right, so in this 2 by 2 there must be a high. I don't know where it goes, but it goes in one of those 2 squares. And that's all the highs for this box taken up in that sort of P pentomino. So both of these are low and middly. Oh, so this is high, in fact, because that 2 by 2 needs a high. So this is not high, and that is either 6 or it's low. That's definitely a 7, 8, 9. That's definitely high. This can't be high as well. We'd have 3 highs. So that's not high. It's funny. Yeah, it's a really unusual puzzle, this, because once you do get a little bit of traction, you can sort of make tiny progress. Now this is one of each. Low and middly. Oh, so that's high. So that's all the highs now. Look, for this column. So these, I don't know if this is the way to do it. It's the way I'm doing it. That needs a 2 by, that needs a high. There's all sorts of propagation that's going to happen as soon as we can get some. Oh, maybe it's from this. I mean, no. I mean, I can see it doesn't turn up. I am going to record that, because if at the moment it turns into a high, if it hasn't finished as a thermo, and it wouldn't have done, it would need another high for its next cell, which it couldn't get. But I think now it can go there, or presumably off here somewhere. It's not constrained yet, he says. That hasn't had a low in it, so that is definitely low. So this is now, that's big. That's middly now, which is going to put a little bit of pressure on the world. That's 4, 5, or 6. So it's now going into a, well, unless it turns down into a high, which it could do. But if it did go there, that's got to be middly, and that would be the final middly in this box. Oh, but there, this is low. There's no low in that 2 by 2. So that's all, right, that's all the lows in box 6. That's definitely middly. I bet this is the next cell on the thermo. I mean, that's not logic. It just feels like it will be. In fact, that's not 6 either. So if this thermo does go to this square, it would have to go 4, 5, and that would be 6. Wow. Okay. This is one of each. As in, that's definitely blue and orange. Now, how do we make more progress then from that? Can we do anything? There's a 6 down here somewhere by a Sudoku, which I feel like I've underused in this puzzle. But in theory, it's going to be possible now. Oh, no, that's it. Why can't that be? Yeah, ooh. Wow, okay, that's really interesting. But I think it still just survives. I was going to say, this has become very difficult to turn down. Because if obviously it turns down, it's now got to be into a high digit. And then that couldn't also be high, because then there wouldn't be a low in this 2 by 2. That couldn't be high, because I'd have too many highs in this column. So the only way it turns down now into a high is if this is also high. I bet that fails for some reason. It would have to go, that couldn't be 9, so this would be 8, this would be 7, so it would go 7, 8. And then in this box down here, we'd have used 2 highs here. There would need to be a high in one of those. It doesn't work. I don't think it works. It's complicated, but let me just run through it. If this turns down now, the first thing we can say is this has to be higher than a middly. So it's definitely not the blue digit. Therefore, the blue digit in that 2 by 2 goes here. This cannot be high, because we've already had our quota of highs in this column. So we have to turn here, and now this digit becomes high, doesn't it? But now we have a problem we can't resolve. And the problem we can't resolve is that the final high in column 7 is down here. But that's the final high for box 9, and this 2 by 2 has no high in it, and that will not work. So in fact, this thermo doesn't turn down and doesn't turn up, so it does continue. And now this is a 5, and that is a 4, and that is that's clearing fog, I think. I think that's why that looked a bit strange. but somewhat peculiar. It's really peculiar because although that seems to be true, and I think it was logical, it hasn't really resolved. It didn't really, unless I've missed something that's been revealed as a result of that. Actually, let's just get rid of that 5. It's not showing me where that goes, is it? No, it seems to be one of these disappearing. So let's just get rid of the green in it. It's disappeared, the rotten thing. It probably goes there, but it could go here, and that would be useful for determining the order of these two. So 4 is down there, and 5 is down here. Okay. And presumably, somehow, some way, we can now do more colouring, but goodness only knows where. Well, okay, here's a tiny point. This 2x2 needs a high. It's in there, and that's the last high for box 5. So both of these are low. That's probably a completely trivial nonsense point, but I will make it. So, how does that help us? This needs a high. That we don't know. There's one of each. Oh, this has to have a green. Yeah, you can always just eke out another digit, even when you think you might not be able to. So one of these is blue. Oh, that's interesting for the column. Because one of these is blue, the rest of this column has to be green and orange. In fact, there's an absolute wealth of... I've not put any orange into this column. So there's at least 2 orange down there. I bet you can't have 3 orange, can you? If you put 3 orange, then that... I don't know. I just don't feel like you can do that in this sort of puzzle. It feels overly oranged to me. One of these is orange. We don't know where this goes. Golly gosh, okay. These 2 squares have to include a blue at least once. There has to be some orangification along here. Oh, I see. Hang on. Oh no, I've got 2 oranges to play for. There must be an orange in there, and there must be an orange in here, mustn't there? Because otherwise this 2x2 and this 2x2 is broken. So that's definitely not orange. So that is green or blue. And now in that 2x2 and this 2x2, we've not had orange. So the oranges have to go there. And this has become, out of nowhere, an 8. That's really odd. Now all of these are now green and blue. This is an 8. So this is 7. This is a naked single. It sees 9 and 8. So that's 7. Oops. That's 9. That's a 7-8 pair. This is 9. That's 8. That's 7. It is clearing fog. It is clearing it. 7, 8. 7, 8. I wonder if you can almost just now... This digit is now... Oh, that's not what I was expecting at all. That is now not high. So high in this column is all at the bottom, which I didn't think would work. Okay, well, I mean, unless I've made an error, that seems to be forced. So there must be more we can do here. 9 is in one of those. Oh, this is a 7. That's a 7-9 pair by Sudoku. Just Sudoku on the 7s and the 9s. So that square is also middly. These are different. And so these two are the same polar. That's lovely again. Okay, because in that 2x2 these are different. So whatever this is, that has to be the opposite of it. So these have the same entropy. Now if that entropy was low, we'd have 4 blue entropies here and 4 blue entropies in row 5. So that doesn't work. So these are both green. That's definitely blue. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, not 6. So 6 in this box apparently has to go here for some reason. I don't understand that, but it seems to be right. This is now definitely blue. So that's 1, 2, or 3. Now, come on, Simon. How does this tidy itself up now? If at all. This square is not blue. We've had all the blues in this column. So this square is 6. It sees a 4, 5 pair in its box. So that's blue and is 1, 2, or 3. I can do some 6s and 4s. I'm staring at it trying to see if I can resolve these 4, 5s. There's probably a way to do it, but I'm not seeing what it is. There's a 6 down here. Does that... No, it doesn't, because I've still got a 4, 5 to put in this column as well, so that's not true. Okay, well let's do it the other way round then. Which one of these is green? I've only got one more green to put in the column. So if I put the green here, there would be no green there, and if I put the green there, there would be no green there. So the green must sit in the middle, surrounded therefore by 2 blues presumably. So that's 4 or 5. These are 1s, 2s and 3s. I mean 9 in this column has to be here. Otherwise there's no orange in that 2x2. So that square is definitely... So now, yeah, oh I see, it's a similar point. I need this 2x2 to have an orange in it. So that is a 9 and it is orange. So that is now not an orange, that's the blue. So this is now an orange. And that's a 7 by Sudoku. These squares are both low and middly. And this 2x2 needs an orange in it. I don't know where it goes, but it's down at the bottom there somewhere. And this square is now the perennial blue or orange digit. Not blue or orange, blue or green, sorry. Right. So, have we learned any more about the world? Yes, a little bit. I've now learned that this thermo does go into the 8. Now, that's of absolutely no use at all, but I have learnt it. This is a 1, 2, or a 3. I've got a 1, 2, 3 triple in column 7, so that bottom digit is not... That is middly now. And it's not... It's a 4. It's a 4 by dint of Sudoku. Which might do something. I'm not sure what. Okay, so I have to put a blue in this 2x2, and I have to put a blue in this 2x2. So again, I think that central cell, this is something I'm sort of learning, has to be the blue one. And these are both going to have to be green as a result of that. So these are 4, 5, and 6. And that's not 4, and that's not 7. And therefore, same thing again. This 2x2 and this 2x2 both need orange in them, and there's only one more orange that we can use. So this becomes a naked single. It's orange to cater for the 2x2s, but it sees 9 and it sees 8. So it is 7. That's 7 by Sudoku. That's 9. This is 8. This is 9. This is 7. 9 in the corner. I feel like celebrating that. Where is 8? Surely, yes, we can get 8 by Sudoku in the final. So now I can get 8 in the corner down here. And I have, I think, done all the 7s, 8s and 9s in the puzzle, which is it's so fascinating. Right, but what does it mean? That is a totally different question. That is a totally different question. Okay, this digit is a blue digit, just to complete column 1. So I've got 2 blues here. Don't think that matters, but I mean maybe it does, but I can't see why immediately. I've got all entropies there, I've got all entropies here. I need to put, now I do need to put a green into this congregation, but I think I can in either position actually. That's got all entropies. This has to have one of each. Oh dear, okay, maybe I've got to use the thermos again somehow. That's a terrifying thought. I don't relish that thought, if I'm honest. Or maybe, look at that. There's no green in it, is there? So that one is green. I don't know if that's helpful. It is helpful. It sees 4 and 6, so that's 5. So this is 4. That gives me a 5, 6 pair here. So that's 4. That's 5. That's 4. That's 5. That's 4. That's 5. Oh, hang on. Is that a disappearing thermo? Oh, it is, you rotten thing. Oh, well, I know where it goes, actually. It is a disappearing thermo, but it definitely doesn't turn into a low digit, does it? So it goes up into the corner. So that's a little bit of extra luck that we deduced from that. I've got to put 6 into row 8, but I think it's got 2 positions. This can't be middly anymore, or we've got too many middlies in a 2 by 2 area. So this is a low digit, 1, 2 or 3, and this is one of each. Now can we use anything to our advantage here to work out which way round this goes? It doesn't look like it's determined by anything down. No, I don't think it is. I dispute whether that's determined by anything down there. So we'll label these up, but some way, somehow, we're going to have to work out what's going on here. Can we do... No, nearly. I wonder whether we could do Sudoku on, say, 5s. Maybe Sudoku on 4s. Yeah, Sudoku on 4s works. That's a 4 by Sudoku. Oh, and it's a bulb. That's huge, isn't it? Because now this has to be middly. Yeah, that has to be middly because it's being banged into by a middly. So that is, well, it's 5. It's middly and it sees everything else. So 5, 6. That becomes 6, which means this is low. Oh, well, I'm not sure. Yeah, surely it's reasonable. If I see this thermo going into this square, which it is, then this is all the same thermo. So that's okay. That doesn't actually help me very much. That thermo just goes 4, 5, 6, 9. So we don't learn anything in addition, but at least we learned something. And I feel like I must be able to finish all my middlies now. Yeah, where's 6 in the bottom row? The answer is there, isn't it? It's the only place it can go. Oh, what did that do? That did something. Hang on, let me just delete it. There's something here now. We'll go and have a look at that in a moment. But these digits are now definitely not green. So these are 1s, 2s and 3s. This is definitely green. That's definitely not 6. We've coloured the grid. We have coloured the grid, and I think we've done all the 4, 5s and 6s. I could be wrong about that. But if that's true, the only purpose of this little thing, which you can see, this can't be a 1, because the thermos go middly low. So this is not 3. Yeah, this is the start of the thermo. Because, oh, I see, that's giving me a 3 here. Yeah, because it can't, there's no blue cell it can go to that's before this square. So 3 is there in row 4. So that's not 3. That's not 3 because there's a 3 in here. That's not 3 because there's a 3 in here. I don't know if I meant to notate this, but I will. There's a 3 in here. That's quite useful. That's now not 3. So the only place 3 goes in box 1 is now known. And that gives me a 3 in box 3. Which means, oh, this is going quite well. There's now a 3 in one of these, so that's not 3 anymore. Which means this is 3. I have a horrible feeling this is about to run its course, though. No, I've got a 1-2 pair in that column, so that's 3. So where are my 3s remaining? I've got 2 here, 2 here, 3. I can't have 3 there, can I? Oh, bother. That does look deadly, doesn't it? That does look deadly. That's concerning in the extreme. What have I done wrong? Maybe there's a way. I don't know, unless we can colour them, but I've got nothing better. I'm going to just quickly try and colour these just in case that goes somewhere. So let's go down there. That's purple. No, I'm not sure about this at all. Actually, that's yellow. That's now yellow. So that's purple. Oh, we knew that anyway if I'd followed through on my logic. That's purple. Ah, okay, I can get this one. Right, yellow in this box. I don't know where it goes, I just know it's in those 2 squares. But that means yellow in this box is there only by Sudoku. So that one is not able to be 3 anymore. So that's 3. Which is good actually, because now this is 2 by Sudoku. So that's right. Oh, well, this is 3. Let's just do the 3. So the 3 is going to be helpful. No. Look, purple. Purple is a 1 or a 2, so it's one of these digits. So it's got to be the lower one. So yellow is the top one. So yellow is 1 now. Wherever we've got yellow, we know it's 1. All of those, I think, are 1s. So that's presumably going to be very helpful, he says. Yeah, this is now 1. That's 2. This is 2. I think this is the place for 1 in box thingy. So all of those get done. 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. And I want to say we might then have just finished the puzzle. Oh, I wanted to double click the 1s and just give them a little bit of a yellow flash to indicate what we did at the end. There we go. That is a sensationally good puzzle, isn't it? That's a really unusual puzzle in the most wonderful way. I mean, how can you do that with 4-cell thermos? GDC is so original. That is really clever. 4-cell thermos and entropy and the whole thing just... I'm not going to say it fell apart. It's taken me 69 minutes. But I did love every minute of it. Let me know in the comments how you got on. I enjoy... Oh, let's see. Yes, okay, it's right. we love the puzzle. Do let me know in the comments how you got on. I enjoy the comments, especially when they're kind, and we'll be back later with another edition of Cracking the Cryptic.